Hey everybody, welcome to the broadcast. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm not going to take the blame for that. I'm going to blame that on my guest, and I can do that because she's related to me. So I'm going to bring her on. Today's at-home learning live for games and play is going to be a fun one with something you probably have laying around your house. So I'm going to bring in my sister. So this is my sister coming on screen, Jody McNally. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Sorry.
Good to see you.
Didn't know what I was doing on there.
What does your shirt say?
Chaos coordinator. Mom got it for me at your kindergarten.
Oh, yeah. Because you're at home with my niece and my nephew. That's why you're wearing it.
And he said, well,
What?
wear it for home.
It's perfect for home learning.
I said, yeah, right.
Because you're stuck at home
Probably more so.
with my niece and my nephew.
And Lily's doing a good job wanting to do her work. Dean, not so much.
I understand. They're both doing pretty good, actually. But Landon, not as much. Olivia just has a lot to do because it's junior high. But so we're going to talk about another way to get your kids learning at home through play, something other than just a worksheet. And that's what this series is going to be all about. You know, Trish and I talked about dice games yesterday. Those of you that shared that out, thank you so much. It's been getting viewed and shared like crazy. And really, it's not about that. It's about just getting it shared to the right people. We want parents to see this and teachers that can share this on to parents to see this. So this is on Facebook now, but we're going to put it out on YouTube, on Twitter, everywhere. So Jody's going to talk about cup stacking stem is what we kind of agreed on. She had a ton of ideas, so we might do another episode in the future, but we're going to talk about that today. So why don't you tell everybody what this easy idea is to do at home? I got cups, but I found these are behind our bar.
I thought about that actually this morning, but getting those at the dollar, I saw some of those at one of our dollar stores, and
Yeah.
that saves a lot of space because it does take up a lot of food to store a bunch of them if you're doing a large group. I started doing this originally when we were doing house meetings, like 6 separate house meetings at school. So we needed a STEM activity that we could do with lots of kids. So we ended up getting donations of 1,000 red cups for that. And that's where I found this is where I got my idea.
Yeah, you talked about that. Who's that from?
Heaps of First.
So it's on
See if I can
PPT.
show you.
Heaps of First on
That one.
PPT. We'll put that link in the comments eventually where you can find that if you're a teacher watching this.
So it just has little cards that have little pictures, and the way that we did it, we actually numbered them. So each group, each house had like different their own set and a set of cups, and so it was just a fun way for like small groups. There's all kinds of different patterns. There's easy ones all the way up to like a little more challenging. The thing that I was thinking of all the different ways. This one is cool. It says stack attack. Stack as many cups as you can in a minute. Stack the cups to be as tall as you. So there's some different ones. And these are ideas that, you know, if you don't have these cards at home as parents, it wouldn't be hard to, you know, I'm sure most people probably have a pack of these from a birthday party or something.
Right.
9 packs if you're our mother. And love you, Mom. So anyway, I just was thinking, I know when I first got these, I brought a set of the cards home, and my own kids, who at the time were like, I don't know, 13 and 6 probably, they played for like an hour together on the floor, doing the different patterns and just having fun. So I thought for older kids, maybe even having them create math problems like expressions, even with parentheses, using PEMDAS or something, you know, to create math problems using the different rows of cups or something. So I think it will cover for a lot of ages.
I just shared yesterday a video that I had done a while back of just printing off simple Avery labels with math problems or sight words or anything on them, and they stick to these cups really, really well. So if you did something like that, you could easily just print off a ton of, take a work page that might have come out. I'm not telling you not to do your child's work pages, because teachers took a lot of time to put that stuff together, but take some of the simple math problems or equations or sight words or letters, anything your child is working on, and just either use a Sharpie or print them off and stick them to the cup, and then you can reuse these. And then before they stack them up, they have to answer that problem before that cup goes in their stack. And one thing I was thinking when you were talking about this last night, when we were going back and forth about this idea, was, if my two kids were sitting here and we put a pile of cups in the middle, and like whoever could build the tallest tower wins the round or the game or whatever, but they can only take the cup for their tower if they can answer the question first. So whoever gets the question first gets to stack it up, and then that other person's gonna obviously, pout about not being. No, I'm kidding. But so don't start any wars at your house between your children. But that's a good way to make it a little competitive play too.
In our house, Dean would just end up throwing the cup.
It'd go flying across the table.
Style. I think I also thought about different questions, just open-ended, like reading questions about characters or main idea or key details, things like that. If you put those stickers on there after they read a story or a passage or whatever, you could have them play that way, and they'd have to answer those kind of questions.
That's a cool idea too. Yeah. Or even, I'm thinking about this as you're talking. This is the cool part about doing the conversation, is you could even put little, I don't know, stickers on these of random objects, or draw little faces and pictures on here, and they randomly reach in and have to try to stack a few up like this way so you can still see the cup, and then try to write a story about whatever type of animal or character they built. So maybe you draw tails on some of them, bodies on some of them, heads on some of them. They draw 3 cups, 1 tail, 1 body, 1 head. They have to stack it up into whatever creature they make, and then write a story about that creature.
I also thought about like sentence, like just building a story. If you put if you think about like that game where you have all the little words on magnets, I think you and Trisha used to have it on your fridge, where it's just random words. If you did that with those cups and then just put them all in a pile, and they just had to say every kid grabbed 10, then even if you were with your own kids, they'd have to work together using each of their cups to try to form some sentences that made sense, or punctuation could be on there too. So I think there's a lot of things you could do, and if you have those little ones, again, the storage was a huge issue when we had like thousands of them, because each group needed, I don't know, 25 or 30 cups. That was a lot of red cups to store in my little office at the time. So
I don't know why we have like 2 sets of these behind our bar in our kitchen. We have a bar in our kitchen. It's not really a bar. You know it, Jody, but listeners, we're not. I don't know why I'm trying to explain that to all of you. We just have a bar in our basement kitchen, and there were tons of these back there. So I just grabbed some this morning, and we don't ever use them. I don't know why they're even there. I don't know.
I'm going to use them today.
Maybe
Landon and Alexa.
They'll be Watch how you say that. Here's the other thing to think too, parents and teachers need to remember this as well, that when we talk about the word STEM, sometimes that's not just saying build this, build this, build this, build this. Right. It's solving a problem. So one thing, Jody and I were talking about before when we talk about STEM with these types of things is giving your kids at home a challenge to complete, not just a challenge to stack them, but maybe it's to use these and, I don't know, blocks or Legos or something you have to build a bridge that spans from this table to this table, or from a chair to the table in your kitchen, or build a staircase stack that reaches from the chair up to your table, right. And they have to get a Lego character up to the top of it, or an army character up to the top, whatever it may be. Give them challenges to solve. So you take the thinking, or stop taking the thinking out of it for them, and if you're really wanting to get them learning at home, put the thinking on them, and make them solve problems with it before they actually just start building things.
I just saw on the chat that Mom said she has those little cups too. She's not sure why she bought them. They were just cute. So
maybe they came from her. I don't know.
Plastic cups.
Somebody else just commented, listeners, and I don't know if you're watching the feed, but we can. It says, we love cup stacks. I use them for everything. My kindergartners pretend to be the big bad wolf and huff and puff them down. I love the mouth wash sized ones, much easier to store. I like the way you worded that, Lindy. Mouthwash size sounds so much better than I found these behind my bar. But
Good job,
yeah,
babe.
that's what they're for. They're for mouthwash. That's why we use them. But yeah, I like that idea. So building a house, and if you have multiple kids at home, little ones, they can try to build a house to pretend to be the three little pigs, and the big bad wolf has to try to huff and puff and blow it down. So now you're working on the structure of it. Do you double the wall? Do you put more cups on top of each other? It's a great idea. Honestly, just whatever kind of challenge we can get. Again, going back to what we said about packets coming home, I hope you all realize the time and effort the teachers have poured into getting stuff ready and are still pouring in daily to send stuff home. But when your child gets tired of just sitting and doing, obviously we want the free time to happen. I'm not gonna lie, my kid sits and plays Xbox for for a little while during the day. We go outside and we take walks, we dribble a basketball around. Those things are important too, but when it comes to just learning through play, kind of take the worksheets and the directions away and just present them with problems like this and like Trish and I showed you yesterday.
While you were talking, I thought of a fun way, especially if you have more than one kid at home, just to practice in following directions and having to hear someone explaining what to do. So like take your cup. I wonder if we can try this. If I just explain to you what one of my cards has on.
All right.
And then, like I'm going to pick one that's kind of.
Oh, this would be a good idea.
You could have your kids sitting back to back, or one in the living room and one in the dining room, or whatever, in their own rooms if you need to separate them, like we can.
they can make a little cup string telephone and talk back and forth.
Yeah, it's like the game where you tell them what to draw, but you could do it with cups. Okay, so for this one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 along the bottom.
3, 4,
8
5, 6, 7.
Opening down.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Mom just said you could put numbers on them, just stacking them by threes, like counting by 3, 3, 6, 9, have them put those things in order. That's a good idea.
Dang, Mom. That's our mom in the comments over there giving ideas like crazy. Look at that. Aren't you supposed to be doing something, Mom? No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding, Mom. All right, 8 on the ground. That was so mean of me. I'm sorry, Mom. Thank you for watching.
On the next level, you need only 6 cups. So like
1, 2, 3, 4.
5 of them the way you would just normally stack to make a pyramid. Yeah. Well, yeah. And after you do 5, you're going to leave a space.
4.
I feel like we could do this all day, even without the live. I'm just going to.
We could just
have Lily and Landon and Olivia and Dean can play.
They can just do FaceTime videos all day long and share.
Okay, then on the next level, over the 5 that you had, you're going to use 3 cups. So make, 2 first, like next to each other, and then leave a space and put another one. And then the last row has just 1 on top of the last 2. Ta-da!
I solved the problem. I'm the smartest man alive. Nice. I do like this though, and you explain that very, very detailed to me. But you could get your kids, if you have some upper level kids, or younger ones will think of this too, to explain that in different ways. So you could say like you're going to build a cup stack that goes 4 rows high, 8 rows across, with 2 spaces at row number or column number. Like they could really, really get technical with this and try to solve that problem rather than you walking me through step by step by step by step. Actually saying, it's 8 columns, 4 rows. There's a space at column number 3, a column number. What's that? Like
the one I just did that would be really hard to explain ahead of time.
It would. That's why I'm glad you didn't try it. Okay, you see those cup stacking challenges where they try to stack them up as fast as they can too?
I know. Oh, good job. I don't think you should do a good job, but
we got to see that at the Chicago Toy and Game Fair. They had like world champion cup stackers. It was insane to watch. That's a good one though. To have them not show them the card, but walk them through the card. And like she said, we'll put the link of that product below if anybody wants to get that and practice with it. Heaps of First is the TPT seller it's from. It's got all those cards and different challenges for you. If that's not something you're capable of getting or don't have the access to the printer or anything like that, just talk your kids through it. They don't need the picture. Just talk it or draw it or however you want to do it. But I like those cards that are pre-made. The cool part about something like that is, and those products is sometimes it's nice just to step away as a parent or a teacher. Like one thing I always say in my workshops is when you just step back and watch a kid play without your direction on, you learn so much about the way their mind works and the way they think things through. So not saying just to ditch your kids at home, parents, but sometimes cards like that are great where you can just lay them out and say, let me see. I dropped my cups. Let me see what you can do on your own. I guess you can't really even see me anymore. But I was talking to no one there. Let me see what you can do and put out cards like that and just let the kids build. Same goes with Legos and things like that. Just let them build and see what they can create. It's fun to do like that.
I just had a vision of you guys playing this and Trisha getting so mad at you for not listening. Like if she was explain to you, because you would have trouble listening.
I would just keep stacking.
You know,
yeah,
like,
I probably
would be easy to describe. But I found one that would this would be really hard to explain in words without going step by step, having them upside down.
That's the cool part of the challenge of it, though.
And maybe having them write the directions, then you get some writing in there. I know.
There you go.
Having that, and also kids love making videos. Like they love getting on there. Like we use Seesaw. And Flipgrid and stuff like that. They think that they're on YouTube. They're like, hey guys, don't forget to hit like.
That's one thing I was going to say. Our daughter Olivia has been doing Flipgrid for band assignment. Like her band teacher's been sitting home daily challenges, like show and tell type things. Like yesterday was try something new and post a video about it. So she tried some of this green juice that I drink and like made a video on Flipgrid about it. And the cool part is it's not going out on social media. It's directly going to her classmates and her teachers. Flipgrid's an awesome one for that. Seesaw is perfect for that.
Because you can see all the little videos from that like session or with that assignment. You can see all the faces all in one place, and it's kind of cool.
It is cool. So that's a great idea. Let them film it and talk their way through it. And honestly, if your child's not, I'd say do both. I like the writing idea. Write out the steps they took to complete it. And here, see, I love conversation like this because now I'm thinking even more.
You could be writing.
You just did with talking me through that. You could have one of your children at home write out the directions instead of just talking the directions through. Have them write out clues. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, and then they just sit back quietly and watch to see if the person can, or their sibling or whoever's staying with them.
For you, they would
solve it.
To solve it. I know Dean loves when he can like make an assignment for us. So I think later today we might get these out. This one is boggle. That one really blows my mind. I don't know how I would explain
that through. Yeah, you're building 4 separate towers. Yeah, that one would take a little while.
You could probably.
We were talking about how people like to say, leave me comments and whatnot. My friend Pete just commented and said his son was watching something yesterday and said, hi, viewers. Like there were people actually watching him.
That's what I'm talking about. Molly and I had to say something to our 5th graders. We had an assignment. I don't remember what it was, but they had a Flipgrid Flipgrid assignment, and they were supposed to be like doing a response to like an ELA stem after reading a passage, and they were on there, and they're like, "Hey guys, Jody here, coming from the hallway. Just want to give a shout out to my girl Talia." Like they were saying, like it was like they really thought that this was going to go viral, and it was just us. The 2 teachers who are going to be watching it. But it's still, if that gets them talking and, excited about talking about what they've read or whatever, then who cares?
People are commenting, missed the link. Yes, Pete, we'll share the link in the description. I'll put that in the comments, or Jody, you can put that in the comments afterwards.
It's a comment. I've never
What's
done
that?
this before. This is my first time being on this, this.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
If I
Cool part
type,
is, like,
it
I
changes.
can even do some shameless self promotion here, and I can put up pictures like this. What? Like about my book that's about to be coming out? Because
Oh, wow.
isn't that cool? Because all of this is kind of related to my book that's coming out soon with Dave Burgess Consulting, and I have to put that picture in there because it's like we're looking at like a late April release, which is insane to think that that's like a month away. Yeah. So teachers and parents, this is about creating a purposeful play-based classroom, but there are so many ideas of how to ways to make play work at home too. So I hope parents of young ones or homeschool parents find this as well. Teach, Play, Learn. I love their design company that came up with that cover too. It's in the proofreading stage right now, which I think is like the close to last step. I got to see a layout of it the other day. So like the chapters laid out and all that, it looks amazing.
Awesome.
So a lot of that. What's that?
I love the cover.
I know they did. All I said was I want games and I want neon looking 80s colors, and that's what they came back with. And I said I want like paint looking stuff. It's amazing what they're. I mean, I know that's their job, but when you see someone do their job so well, a designer like that, it's crazy cool. And they even have like the chapter headings have like dice, and then each section break has a little pawn to break it. I don't want to tell all the details, but it's just going to look really rad.
Rad, dude.
Rad. I'm excited for you to get it too, Miss Houston. That's awesome.
I'm not afraid to make fun of you. I bet most of your guests don't make fun of you.
No, not at all. They can, but you know more than. We'll just end that right there. We're not going to go into what you know about me.
Oh, likewise. So
I think this just kind of says it all right there. That's me, pretty much. Just one of the kids. All right. Well, those are awesome ideas. So parents, go dig out your styrofoam cups, plastic cups, Dixie cups, mouthwash cups. Like Lindy said, there's a perfect one. That's a great idea. And just start stacking away. Give your kids challenges. That's the big one. Don't just, I mean, we want them just to play, but if you can come up with cool little challenges to really get their brains thinking about how to solve a problem. When teachers use the word STEM or you hear that buzzword going around, that's what it's about. It's about solving a problem of some type using science, technology, engineering, and math. It's not just saying, here, build a house, here, build a ramp. It's solving a problem of some sort. So try that over these next 2 weeks or whatever it is that your school is out. We know these times are uncertain, so that's why we want to share these ideas as much as possible. But just challenge your kids and keep the learning alive.